Good evening. Welcome to WDW Radio Live. I am Lou Mangello. You are my friend, and happy Sunday night. Happy August. Where is half the year gone? I have no idea. If you are joining live, thank you so much for being here. I know it's not a normal live, but I told you we're going to be doing a lot more of these Let's Talk, Let's Walk, and even live reviews like we're going to do tonight for Jungle Cruise. I appreciate you being here. Do me a favor, tag and invite a friend and somebody to watch along with us. If you're watching on the replay, please join us every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, as well as turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. Let us get right into it. Jungle Cruise, starring The Rock and Emily Blunt. Let's sort of go back a little bit in time. I wasn't sort of planning on doing this, but the live action, and we actually talked about this not too long ago. I did a top 10 Disney attractions that should be made into movies. If Jungle Cruise hadn't been coming out now, this would have been one that was very, very high on the list because I think it just lends itself so much to being a fun movie. And I'm going to give you my one sentence review right out of the gate. That's exactly what this is. This is a fun, adventurous popcorn movie for the entire family, which is exactly what, Disney movies are supposed to be. They're supposed to be, um, for me, when I go to the movies, I want oftentimes for something, especially for this, which it delivered on, is I want something that's uncomplicated. I want something, it's why we go to the movies, right? To forget and to have fun. And for Jungle Cruise, it's exactly what you need to do. You need to suspend your belief, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride just like you're supposed to do on the attraction in the Disney parks around the world. That's exactly what the attraction is about, and that's exactly what the movie delivers on. This is something that is not complicated, it is not heavy, it is very family friendly. If you are a Jungle Cruise attraction Disney theme parks fan, you're going to dig the callbacks, the Easter eggs, a lot of the fun details. I found myself watching this for the first time because I will watch it again, which should give you a little bit of a spoiler free hint as to where I'm going. But it's like watching a Marvel movie, right? The first time you're watching it just to sort of take it in, and the next time I want to go back and try and pick up on some of the details. Some are not even hiding in plain sight because, as you would expect, there are the Jungle Cruise jokes, there are the very clear and obvious nods to the attractions, the puns, the quips, the one liners that make Jungle Cruise the oh so very corny, yet oh so very beloved attraction that this is. And to a certain degree, and I mean this as a good thing, the film parallels the ride, right? It's corny and it's funny, and there's a sense of adventure, especially in the third act. We'll get to that. And you may have heard it, Jungle Cruise, referred to in terms of other films that from this and sort of overlapping genres. And if Romancing the Stone and the Goonies and Pirates of the Caribbean and the Mummy and Lara Croft Tomb Raider and Indiana Jones, I can't even say had a baby because it's really weird. But if there was like a giant pot and they mixed all those ingredients in it, that's exactly what the Jungle Cruise is. I'm happy I didn't go down the baby route. But if there was a chef making a recipe for a Jungle Cruise movie, it would be a lot of Romancing the Stone, a little bit of, actually, a lot more Pirates of the Caribbean on the back end. There is some Goonies, Mummy, a lot of Indiana Jones, Lara Croft, which should give you a sense of where this film fits. It's exactly where you would expect it to be. It's a fun, family friendly adventure film that's got a little bit of twists and turns, especially at the end. But unlike a lot of the films that I just mentioned, Jungle Cruise is very much by design. It is a film that everybody in the family can watch, just like the attraction, just like everybody can ride this attraction, right? There's no barrier to entry. There's no barrier to entry. Maybe the snakes at the end, no spoiler there. Maybe there's a couple of scenes later on as it does get a little bit darker near the end that might be some for young kids. Not really. I watched this. I screened it with my family, watched their reactions as well. I found myself, as someone who chooses the good, I found myself entertained the entire way through. I paid 100% attention. I never was distracted. I never felt that the movie dragged. I mean, it very much sort of follows the 3 act play. I found myself smiling and in some points laughing out loud. Oftentimes, when a very direct Jungle Cruise attraction reference was being made. Look, I dig The Rock. I was never a wrestling fan, but I like him a lot. I've seen him in a lot of different movies, and he's perfectly cast in this role. And he and Emily, the chemistry between The Rock and Emily Blunt is way better than Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner in Romancing the Stone, which had that same type of "I'm going to drag you on an adventure. I'm the adventure guide. The woman I'm bringing along with." This very much has a very different dynamic. There's that they go from appearing to dislike each other to being friends to I won't spoil the rest for you. I'm going to try and make this as spoiler free as possible. Emily Blunt is so incredibly charming. I found myself wanting to have tea with her like the entire time I was watching the film, because there is something that is just wonderful. Like I said, charming is the word that comes to mind. But she also is, and this is why I sort of used the Lara Croft Tomb Raider. She sort of plays the Indiana Jones adventuresome heroine very, very well, and I feel like she was very well cast in this. I think, thinking of Indiana Jones, I very much felt like it was an Indiana Jones type film, especially in the first act. There's a very sort of Rube Goldian type, Rube Goldbergian type adventure through the marketplace and the town. The third act had elements of Pirates of the Caribbean. The adventure is ramped up, the stakes are ramped up. There's a little bit more darkness, literally and figuratively, in it. There's also a couple of twists and turns. And you'll find, look, I mean, it's very, very clear. You'll find a lot of similarities between the films and even some of the characters, and some of the twists and turns and reveals will strike some very direct parallels, and there's nothing wrong with that. Excuse me. Again, I walked into this film expecting to be delivered exactly what I wanted, which was something that was not going, like I said at the beginning. It was just going to be something fun, popcorny, adventure-y, not something that I was going to, by necessity or design, dissect completely. It was something I just wanted to. I didn't want to ask why. I just wanted to enjoy the blend of action and comedy, and I think if you go in that way, you'll do just the same. I love the fact that it's the period piece set in the 20s. The CGI sets were beautiful. You may see sometimes people are calling some of the CGI slightly cheesy, and I think some of the things that are criticisms from others might be some of the things that are deliberate. Like the CGI might seem a little cheesy in some parts because the ride itself is cheesy. Like that's the adventure that we are buying into in the parks. Going to the villain side, there's the villains were interesting. The main villain I found not to be neither sympathetic nor scary, although I do feel that there was a deliberate Adventurers Club type reference. You'll see it when you see it. The sub-villains, this is sort of where we get sort of into the Pirates of the Caribbean type realm. They do give you somebody else to root against. Paul Giamatti, by the way, is awesome. My only, it's not a complaint. I just liked him so much in this movie, and I like him in so much in that he does. I almost would have liked to have seen more Paul Giamatti in this film. But The Rock, and like all of the cast seem to be having such fun in as you watch the film. And I actually was able to participate in a press conference last week with all of the main characters, and that comes through. The fun that they appear to be having on screen came through in the press conference. And one of the things that I loved is that I don't know how to put this. Like, this doesn't feel like a paycheck movie for The Rock. And what I mean by that is as he was not only being questioned, but talking about the Jungle Cruise and Disney, the answers that came from him to me felt incredibly authentic. His knowledge of the Jungle Cruise and of the jokes did not come from a PR or marketing person whispering that into his ear or preparing for the role ahead of time, like I sort of got the feeling that The Rock is and continues to be a Disney Parks fan, and I think that that really came through. The other actors, and again, I feel like it came through in their characterizations as well. Um, Again, when I watch things like this, I try and watch it from a variety of different perspectives. I also listen as much as I watch. I love the if you know the James Newton Howard music, you'll see it's very very familiar in terms of his tone. Although I was surprised that Metallica, yes, that Metallica got involved for a cover of one of their hits called "Nothing Else Matters." I think overall it's a it's a heartwarming family. It's one of the go to the theater, whether it be the theater, the movie theater, or a theater at your home in Disney Plus. It was very interesting to see where people sat. Disney Plus just sort of I did a very unscientific poll, but it seemed Disney Plus just outweighed going to see it on the big screen. I will say I watched it at home on Disney Plus. I would like to have seen it on a big screen. The same way as I had a different experience watching Black Widow, which I enjoyed way more on the big screen than I the second time than I did watching it the first time on Disney Plus. I think some movies play better in that environment. And now as we are again hopefully getting to the point where you feel comfortable going back to the movies and that's a personal choice, I get it. There is something not just about the popcorn and the candy in the seats, but there is something about that theatrical experience that I think helps some movies play better. I would be very curious to see this again in a movie theater because it is the one where you go to the theater, you grab your popcorn, you have some laughs, you enjoy the Easter eggs and the callbacks to the attractions. It is full of cliches. It is sometimes incredibly predictable, but then so is the Jungle Cruise. And I think that is the reason why I like this movie. I don't know what I would give it out of 10. I'm thinking about this as I would probably give Jungle Cruise, based on the amount of times I found myself smiling last night, I'd give it a 7.5. And that may, there's a plus or minus sort of 1.5 in there because I want to, one, I know I want to see it again. And two, I want to see it in a movie theater. So I'm having a feeling that that might actually move the needle even a little bit higher. But I also want to hear from you. I know you've been commenting the entire time. I'm going to go back and try and read some of your comments. Please keep them coming along. I have obviously a lot to uh, catch catch up to. This live show rock. No, thank you for all of the puns, and I see the puns have been coming in fast and furious. Going into your comments, it seems like so. Wayne says, "I loved it." Jason Miller, 10 out of 10. Mary Wells, I love the pun. Trader Sam was a. It was interesting, Andrew. I was wondering if Trader Sam, and I will not spoil anything, if Trader Sam was going to make an appearance. I'm so happy that the character did. Things that you may or may not still see on the Jungle Cruise attraction may or may not be well and tastefully, I think, done in the film. Jeff C. reminds me of Indiana Jones and Brendan Fraser mummy movies. We are very much on the same page um, in terms of where this fits in relation to other films. And it seems like a lot of us are feeling the same thing. Paige Miller loved it. They did corny so well, said Bill Swan. Really loved the Jungle Cruise attraction references. It definitely there are little love letters to Jungle Cruise attraction fans throughout this film, and I think there's probably more that we you don't see on a first watch. Jason also says it's also worth seeing in theaters. My 5-year-old was startled by the snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? But definitely could handle it. Jumped a couple times, but love it. Yeah, there was a sort of little, when I say darker turn, I still believe it is very, very accessible, even to young kids. Nothing scary, but I was like, whoa, like this movie all of a sudden the tone got a little bit more serious and the stakes got a little bit higher much later on. And there was this perilous sense of adventure that um, I was happy to see Julia Vora says, I'd also like to have all of Emily Blunt's wardrobe, please. And thank you, including her pants. Roberta says, I can't wait to see it again. Robert Randall says, I'm looking forward to watching it again and again. That is, I think, the highest compliment you can pay to a film is not only do you enjoy seeing it once, but you want to go back and seeing it again. A lot of love for The Rock here. Karen, will your 3-year-old be fine with it? I think so. I was trying to think about, especially later on in some of the third act scenes, but I don't think that there's anything that would be worrisome. I would take, I obviously can't speak to everybody's child. I would take my young children to see it. So Indiana Jones meets Pirates meets National Treasure. It's one of the other films I didn't include in my analysis, but yeah, Trader Sam's was definitely a little bit different. Jeremy Goff also agrees. Definitely need more Paul Giamatti as well. Let's see. Mary says The Rock genuinely loves the ride. The video of Dwayne and Emily skipping a Disneyland boat was great. And again, I wasn't able to record any of the press conference. I don't think a written transcript really does it justice, but from watching them and watching their live dynamic and the incredible rapport that all of the cast seem to have with you, like you almost get the sense, and I believe it, that there was this instant friendship that developed between, do I call him The Rock, Mr. Johnson? Dwayne, between Dwayne and Emily, between Blunt and Rock, whatever you want to call it, that seems to carry over, even in the press conference as well. So Chris Allen, all the articles read talk about his fondness for the ride. It very, very much comes through. Richard Pete says it was amazing in the theater, and I think, Richard, I want to go back, like I said, and see it in the theater. Kevin Tolman says the exact same things. Judy says, I haven't been to movies in 2 years, but for this, I really do want to. A lot of people saying watch it on the on the big screen, not just for the pizza oven, not just for the popcorn. Says Home Pizza Ovens. Julie also says, I don't care if it's predictable. It's life has been anything but predictable. It's so lovely to have a simple, fun movie experience. And Julie, I agree. Like this is just the movie that you need to help bring you back into theaters. You need something that is fun and light, and it's not going to sort of weigh heavily on you, or you have to pay attention to every second or feel the sort of dramatic emotional tug. It does just enough. Wendy Lee Valentine Teller says it's a perfect date movie. I think that's a great way to describe it. It's a great family movie. Like, I really was happy watching it with my kids, and watching their reaction as well. Sean Roberson says, I love the musical score as well. I love James Newton Howard. I loved what he did for Peter Pan and some of the other films. Again, I think there's a style that you can instantly recognize from him that accompany this film very well. There were a couple of interesting musical choices that I won't throughout and near the end that were curious, but nothing that ever detracted. Jeff C says, I'd love more movies like this, just pure entertainment. Jeff, I'm with you, man. I think this was sort of that, you like, I knew I was hungry for something in the movies. I didn't know what it was. It was this, right? It was just the right amount of sweetness and happiness and a little bit of adventure. And I think that's why I just sat there, my phone was down, and allowed myself to enjoy the movie for exactly what it was. The jokes were fantastic. The brother was a great, different comedic part to the Blunt Rock dynamic. He had some great background stuff. Of course, he had to say the back side of water, as well as other Jungle Cruise jokes that you will find in there. I know maybe you haven't seen it yet, which is why I don't want to spoil it if you're watching this live or on the replay. I think the Jungle Cruise is a must-see. I listen, as we've all been watching and binging TV shows and movies on our couches, there is something to be said for that experience, right? Being able to put it on pause, having your own snacks. That being said, If you haven't been back to the movies as yet, Jungle Cruise might just be the ticket that you need to take yourself, take your families, and leave everything else behind. I mean, physically and mentally, just leave it all behind and go to the movies for exactly what the movies were designed for: a fun, um, you know, happy, family friendly adventure that I think anybody could enjoy. Um, I love that all the elements of the ride were in it. I got so excited for every new scene. Going to the movie theater was a great escape. Haven't been in a while. It was wonderful. Um, Jerry Johnson said this could be the next Rocky Horror Picture Show by having audience participation, where some people yelled out the backside of water when it got to that point. I think I clapped. I think like even at home, I was like, yes, like. Unfortunately, we didn't have to wait. I was like, please don't let this be the very last thing he says in the movie, because I had this sort of excited anticipation to see it. Bill Fox, you're right. The popcorn is better in the theater. There is something, and that's what we talked about this during quarantine, that, would movie theaters survive? And I say yes, because there is something about the overall experience. And I think going to the movies is going to start being like what it used to be. It was something special to go to the movies. You're going to now, and I like the fact that you have the option to pick and choose what you want to wait for or see or use, premium access or premiere access to watch at home versus, hey, this is the kind of movie I want to see in a theater, right? For me, Marvel movies, epic grand scale adventures like that. This is one I almost wish I would have seen in a theater first, because there is something about it all, right? About the whole thing, and then the lights dimming and the lights coming up, and then being able to have the conversations asked after it. Mary T. Wells, it's a good way to escape. I wish I had seen it in a theater. Um, Amy says, I watched African Queen this week, and I loved the many references in there that I saw. Caleb Joshua Hill says the score is incredible. I agree. Jeff Stevens says Twizzlers and Dr. Pepper taste better at the movie. So um, the movie made me want to head out to Magic Kingdom and ride Jungle Cruise again. I agree with you. And especially, you have more reasons to go and watch it now because of all the updates, the changes that have been made, the Easter eggs that are strewn throughout the attraction. I think there's reasons to ride during the day. I think there's reasons to ride at night. There's certainly reasons to ride when the Jingle Cruise comes back later on this year. And Kevin, you're right. Your brain actually needs a little bit of time to adjust when you come out. If you have not seen Jungle Cruise in theaters, I highly, highly recommend it, and certainly feel safe and comfortable knowing that you can go, and I think you should go with family or with friends, because it really is just a fun, fun movie. So, thank you for being here and for sharing your thoughts, your jokes, your reviews of Jungle Cruise. I'd love to continue the conversation in the clubhouse over at wdwradio.com/clubhouse. If you are not a member there, please come be part of the community and conversation. We talk about a little bit of everything there. And also, don't forget to join our spoiler support group at www.radio.com/spoilers. I will tell you that I just finished watching Marvel's What If for the second time of the first 3 episodes. I can't say very much now, but What If is, we're going to have a lot to talk about. I think I'm allowed to give an initial reaction. I posted my initial reaction in the clubhouse. You can check it out there. But it is a lot of fun. It flips the script on Marvel. And I can guarantee you it is nothing like you have ever seen before. Also, a couple of other quick reminders. I will be live again, obviously, this Wednesday coming up at our normal time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Next weekend, I will also be live on Friday during the day, time TBD. I'll be live from the floor of MegaCon here in Orlando. So excited to be back in convention mode again. I love these comic, sci-fi, pop culture conventions. I'm going to take you with me around the floor, and if you are there, please let me know. Would love to say hi while you are there. Also, tomorrow, somewhat Disney related, somewhat a little bit different. Tomorrow, I'm going to be releasing tickets and more information about my Momentum Weekend Workshop in Walt Disney World at 9 a.m. at LouMongello.com/momentum. I'm going to show you how you can integrate lessons learned from the Disney parks and the Disney company. And this event, 2 days in Walt Disney World, limited to just 50 entrepreneurs, is very much an intimate and informative workshop environment to help you really move the needle while you are there. If you are curious about Momentum, if you're not really sure what it is, I'm going to do a full live discussion and Q&A on Tuesday, August 3rd at 2 o'clock. I'm going to do that on my personal profile at facebook.com/Lou Mongello. So stay tuned for that. You can also just go to www.radio.com. You can just go on Monday at 9 a.m. to LouMongello.com to find out more. I know I'm forgetting something else. I have no idea whatever it might be. But thank you so much again for joining me tonight. I hope that you enjoyed our and let me ask you this. Do you like these? Do you like these additional live shows? Do you like these live reviews and conversations? What if I started checking out your mailbox to get hold of the preview copies? Let me know. I'm very, very curious if you are enjoying these new live video segments. I plan on doing more and more often throughout the day and at night. So please make sure you turn on notifications on the WDW Radio page and in the WDW Clubhouse as well. Finally, most importantly, thank you. I sincerely love and appreciate you. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoy the Jungle Cruise. Please help spread the word, not just about the movie, but this amazing community that you have created over at www.radio.com/clubhouse. I am Lou Mongello. I love and appreciate you. So until next time, choose the good. See ya.